Hello, my name is Amrita. I'm a pain specialist working in Brisbane, and today we have the pleasure of being joined by Dr. Kieran Davis and Dr. Dilip Kapur, our incoming and outgoing Faculty of Pain Medicine Dean. So Dr. Davis, so you're finishing up your term as Dean, officially tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep, 23 hours to go.
Wow, not counting down. So what have been the highlights for you?
I think people talk about being the Dean as an honour and a privilege, but for me, it has just been an absolute pleasure. I've enjoyed every minute of it. And I don't think there were any standout highlights in that a lot of the big things that the faculty does have already been done, and that it's just about kind of improving where we are, coming out of COVID and getting us pointing in the right direction moving forward. So I wouldn't say there's a single highlight.
Okay. And is there a specific moment or memory that sort of sticks out for you?
Yeah, it was kind of the first board meeting. When you sit down there and you're a little bit nervous and you've got the sweaty palms, and Milton Cohen, who's been with the faculty since its inception, stands up, announces his retirement and says, "I've got a plane to catch," and left the building. And it was as if the parents had left and suddenly you're in control and there's nobody to support you. So yeah, that was a standout moment for me, day one.
And what's next for you?
I leave the board. I'm like all faculty, we're a small faculty, we're a tight-knit group, and so you never leave the faculty. You know, there'll always be people knocking on my door and just saying, "Hey, can you give a hand here?" And the answer will always be yes.
Yes, yeah.
But other than that, I'm going back to be a clinician.
Nice. Okay, and we move to Dr. Kapur now. So as the incoming Dean, what are you most excited about?
Well, I think the first thing to say is I'm being handed the controls of an organisation that's been put on a very stable autopilot by Kieran. So it's wonderful to actually be heading up to the role of Dean in a situation where so many of the potentially difficult problems, they've not been completely sorted out, but in actual fact, we've got ways through everything. There's been fantastic work done by Kieran and by our former executive director, Leonie English, in terms of enhancing the profile of the faculty, and we've got two amazing research grants that we've secured. So the first grant is in terms of the standards for education for healthcare professionals in pain management, and the second one, which is something that I'm particularly interested in, is the FATES funding, which looks at looks to examine the options for training in rural areas through Australia. That's something that's actually very dear to me, particularly because of my interests in providing services to non-metro communities and also to First Nations communities as well. So I think we've got some really exciting stuff that's there, and I'm looking forward to following through with many things there.
Right, exciting times ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
And on that note, what do you anticipate the challenges will be?
Well, the challenges, as they always are, and to some extent, one of the things that comes with age is that things can look bad. They've always looked bad, and in actual fact, they look better than they've ever done. So a lot of the things that are that appear as problematic to us, we've been there before. And one of the points that I made in the pamphlet that we released for the celebration of the 25th anniversary was that when you look at the challenges in front of us in terms of funding, service provision, recruitment, if you compare that to how it was 25 years ago, there is absolutely no comparison. We are a well-established and well-respected specialty. People now come to us for the first view about important issues relating to pain, and there are always other parties that perhaps will try and challenge us, or will even try and usurp some of our authority. They don't get very far, because the integrity of the faculty that was set up through the vision and, as I said yesterday, the transcendence of Michael Cousins has put us in a completely different zone to many of these other parties. And as fellows of the faculty, we can proudly take forward that accumulated body of knowledge, and we're developing it. Folks like yourself, Amrita, are developing that all the time. And and Kieran and I are at a level. You and your colleagues will take it even higher.
And I guess speaking of upcoming leaders, do you have any advice, specific advice for new fellows and trainees? You've met a few at the luncheon just before. Any specific?
Get involved early with the faculty. You know, we need young fellows to involve in our committees, in our working groups. They're often SOTs really early in their career, the heads of department early in their career, and talk to us, work with us to make clinical pain medicine better, but also the delivery of that pain medicine easier and the training better going into the future. So talk to us, get involved.
Okay. What about you, Dr. Kapur?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing is being disheartened is part of the human condition. And so allow yourself to be disheartened, but don't allow yourself to be dissuaded because you are disheartened. If you think you're right, you probably are. And if other people are telling you you're right, even though events may have been around there that look disheartening, stick with it, and it'll see you through. Stick to the principles and it will see you through.
Great advice from the both of you. Thank you for that. On that note, Dr. Kieran Davis and Dr. Dilip Kapur, thank you so much for your time. And Dr. Davis, thank you so much for your service for the last few years.
Thank you, Amrita.
Thank you. And enjoy the conference.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.